So getting the voice of people who live there in that community, because that is so important to us. Twin Cities community organizer and immigrants' rights activist Dieu Do joins me live from Minneapolis. Your reaction to what the governor there had to say relative to the feds taking over this investigation, not involving Minnesota law enforcement, right off the top.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I think that, I just spoke about this on MS now, but it's incredibly disheartening. I think it sows a lot of even more distrust during a time where community members are rightfully angry. Community members are rightfully not trustful of the federal government, especially after what happened yesterday. And, to have an investigation be solely now carried out by the FBI and the federal government and not having any local involvement raises a lot of questions, raises a lot of concerns, and it is highly unusual. For other high profile cases that we've seen across the country, we have seen partnership between the state or local law enforcement and the federal government. So we are disheartened to hear that, and we are angry about the federal government taking this course of action.
You heard the governor there say don't give them what they want, encouraging peaceful protests, even getting very specific and granular to stay out of public streets, to stay on sidewalks, to go about protests in a way that keeps law and order. Let's go back in time to what happened before that fatal shot was fired yesterday by the ICE agent. Do you have any awareness of what the planning was by protesters on the ground yesterday? Were you there on the ground?
I wasn't there on the ground yesterday, and I don't know what the plans were, but I can't emphasize enough everything the observers were doing were legal. It's in our constitutional right to protest. It's our right to be able to observe federal agents, especially when they're in unmarked vehicles, unmarked clothing, kidnapping our neighbors, and coming with such violence and such aggression towards our community. So everything that folks have been doing on the ground is just, it's legal, but ultimately it's just morally and ethically right. People are just trying to take care of each other and take care of their neighbors. And to see someone on the front lines that could have been easily any one of us killed in the process of taking care of their neighbors is tragic and acutely painful.
We know in all conversations there are difficult counterpoints to be had with respect to you and your position and those who agree with you. There are those who would say that the woman shot, as tragic as it is, the outcome there are those who see the video through a much different lens. They say she was blocking traffic. Do you feel like in that moment she shouldn't have been doing that?
What she was doing was, after the ICE agent said to leave the area, she was taking the order. She was trying to follow the order and leave, and they shot her anyways. And, I think folks who have this perspective, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And, even if, I don't think she was blocking traffic. And even if she was, is it a death sentence too? She was following an order, and the ICE agent, instead of de-escalating, fired 3 to 4 shots in her face. Like, it's just an incredibly violent response to something that is in our legal right to do, is to observe.
It's an important conversation to have, and all voices need to be heard when we have these conversations in our country. As we hear the Minnesota governor say we are at an inflection point, we thank you so much for being with us on CBS News 24/7 to add your voice and perspectives. Thank you so much.